Previously on Phoenix Wright's Spirit of Justice. Come, Rayfa, you know what must be done!
Guide the victim's soul to me.
Oh no. Bailiff, take her benevolence to the first aid station at once. Her inexperience and immaturity left her ill-prepared to face her father's death. Huh. And she said she could go through with it. How very disappointing. You are a dick! As Queen of Courtyard, I shall now pass judgment upon the accused. No! And now back to the present. Are you joking? Why is everybody cheering? They were just starting to have doubts. They don't actually have doubts. Somebody save us, you're gonna be the one, aren't you?
Objection!
No? Wait. You didn't even give me a chance to rebut. I don't need to give you a butt. No, when you were defeated, knave lawyer. But just this once, I'm willing to show you the depths of my compassion. Tell me why I should allow these proceedings to continue. Come, convince me. Quick, Apollo, what do you got? Even if you have to bluff, we gotta keep this trial going. Sure that the crime could have been committed by a third party? How am I supposed to do that? Why don't you start with, how about the timing of Inga's murder? What? This whole case is built on a single premise. That Inga was murdered after Dirk entered the tomb. Oh, but what if that's not true? What if he was already dead? Like if our assumptions are all wrong. Just might work. Rayfa saw him running in there like, what, 210, she said, I think? Or was it 2? I don't think we have that in evidence, though. Dirk became the prime suspect because it didn't seem probable that there was a third party at the scene of the crime. But there is another question we should ask ourselves at this time. Was Minister Inga really killed after Dirk entered the tomb? What nonsense is this? Setting aside the assumption that the murder occurred after Dirk arrived on the scene opens up the possibility of a third party committing the crime. The question before us is, when was Minister Inga really killed? Before Dirk entered the tomb. Isn't it possible that before Dirk even set foot in the tomb, Minister Inga was already dead? That would certainly make the possibility of a third party more probable. Why, of course. I fell unconscious right after I entered the tomb. That's it! Son, you did it! Even if I hadn't, I wouldn't have had a clear line of sight to the body from the entrance. Which means you wouldn't have noticed his body either way. This scenario is entirely possible. And so we can't rule out the possibility of a third person committing the crime. I see. Well, that certainly does make sense. So far, so good. This might actually work. Very well. I shall play along with whatever little game you have knocking around in that tiny mind. That putrid mind. I was starting to get quite bored of all this. I could do with a distraction. Yes. Let us hear some testimony that will shed light on when exactly the minister was slain. Bailiff, summon Rayfa. Surely she has recovered by now. Well, dude. But what about me? Don't I serve a purpose anymore? Oh, poor Judgy Poo. Oh, you doing okay? I hope you're feeling better, Your Benevolence. Must I perform the divination seance? What? Oh, no. We merely require your testimony this time. How can my testimony be of any value? Your Benevolence. Princess Rayfa seems awfully depressed. After what she's been through, summoning her again is like rubbing salt in the wound. Being unable to perform the seance was probably the last straw. I hope she doesn't pass out again. Prosecutor Sadmani, may I ask you something? Of course, Your Benevolence. I've been meaning to ask you this since yesterday. Did you know about Queen Amara? And about me? From where did you hear such a thing? From Mother, and only yesterday. Rayfa was carrying on about telling the truth to the people. So I told her what the truth really was. For it is up to a mother to discipline her child. I see. Be as it may, Your Benevolence, it has no bearing upon our trial here today. So there is no need to let it trouble you. I know. I told Rayfa about something other than Amara's status. Sounds like it, but what could it be? Rayfa, the defense has proposed something preposterous. They somehow think your father was already dead when Dirk entered the tomb. But I believe you can prove them wrong. Are you prepared to do what is required of you? This is starting to make it... Oh, God, man. I don't want the killer to be Dats, but, like, there's still that issue of, like, he got off the plane with us and then we didn't see him for a while. And with this timeline the way it is right now... But I believe you can prove them wrong. Are you prepared to do what is required of you? What did she tell her? Very well then, Your Benevolence. Your testimony, if you please. We are Siamese, if you please. We are Siamese, if you don't please. Sorry, I got that song stuck in my head. I feel like this almost has to be something to do with Nayna and why she's missing. Maybe she told her Nayna was dead. What's more, what if Nayna actually told... if Nayna is Amara, and she actually told Rayfa who she was, that would make it even harder for her if she felt like she couldn't reveal Nayna's true identity. And then for the Queen to tell her that she's dead. Maybe she knows she's not, or maybe she... I don't know, something's... Ugh. Oh wow, it's just straight to a map screen here. Okay. Angus private quarters. On the day of the murder, I was gazing upon the courtyard from my second floor veranda. Around 2:30 p.m., I saw my father heading for Amara's tomb. That was 2:30. Okay. Sounds like just before we got there. You saw your father heading for Amara's tomb. Okay, so she saw him leave his house and go there. Then at about 2:45, I saw Barbed Head and company enter the courtyard. I saw no one go in or out of the tomb after my father entered at about 2:30. Your second floor veranda. What a beautiful place. She must be talking about that house facing Inga's private residence. Yeah. So that's the location from which you saw your father. And at about 2:30? Yes, and shortly after that, you people arrived at the royal residence. You people! So after the minister entered Amara's tomb at around 2:30, no one went in or out of there until the murder was discovered. The tomb is close to outsiders, so no one could have snuck in before the murder. Okay, that's true. Well, that makes it less likely that it was Dats, unless he found... I mean, he wouldn't have even known about Albie's shortcut, and even then, Albie said he could only get through because he was a kid, so... Aside from the fact that we see Dats jumping around, I don't think that means he could have jumped in there or something. That's just an animation that has... Well, then again, I don't know. That rules out any possibility of a third party lying in wait to slay my poor husband. Or so she'd like us to believe. Now hear me, you useless lawyer. Cease this charade and bow before me. For I, Queen Garan, shall finally have your head. My head is still attached. Ha ha. Forgive me, Your Eminence, but first let us allow the defense to question the witness, please. Thank you. Good night. Oh, how weird this is to cross-examine Rayfa. Yeesh. Usually she comes in and does her thing and gets out, you know? On the day of the murder, I was gazing upon the courtyard from my second-floor veranda.
Hold it!
Does she, like, have her own house? Like, does she have to wash her own dishes and everything? Well, no, I guess that's Nayna's. You say you'd been watching the courtyard until we arrived, correct? That seems like an awfully long time. Well, I have a lot to think about, you know? There's much that weighs on my mind. Aww. I see, she really does sound troubled. I don't think she ever fully recovered from the previous trial. Yeah. Your benevolence. Boy, we haven't seen much of you at all, have we? As Crown Princess, you are destined to rule this kingdom one day. That means there will be many things that you alone must determine. Things like how to keep your people happy, and what is true and what is false. And most importantly, what role you must play therein. Well, I can't do any of that shit! Guess it's not easy being a princess. Your benevolence. I'd be happy to lend an ear if you'd ever like to talk. Oh, yeah, right. What would you know of my woes? Do not presume to exceed your station in life. Horned head. Sheesh, teenagers. Your benevolence, what did you witness from your veranda? Well, if you would let me tell you, then I would just tell you. But since I'm not telling you, I'm not going to tell you. So around 2:30 p.m., I saw my father heading for Alvarez's tomb.
Hold it!
Why was he going there? Did your father seem different or troubled in any way? Like, did he bring something with him? Let me think. Oh, there was one unusual thing. Okay. Yes, a shriek emanated from within my father's quarters. A shriek? After which I witnessed him bolt outside, his countenance drained of its usual color. He screamed and he was looking pale. Are we sure it was him that screamed? Well. I'll have you know that I give him... It seems our young lawyer here wishes to hasten its journey to the Twilight Realm by making jokes about me and my husband. Sorry, that was rude of me. It's okay, what you guys do is your own business. Does the defense believe the witness's last statement to be important? I believe it is. I'd like the witness to add it to her testimony. Here we go again. Okay, if her father let out a scream, it was him, and came dashing out of his room, his face pale. His pale face. Why do you think he screamed? Was he surprised by someone who didn't belong there? Did anyone else come out? Oh, I didn't see anyone else, just my father. That last statement was seriously lacking in conviction. Should I press her on this? Yeah, but let's press it softly. Your benevolence. It's never given me that option before. This incident was a real shock to us all. It must have been really terrible for you, but I want to let you know, I know how you feel. Please stop. You presume too much. It's times like these that you need something to take your mind off things. Let's go to the park. How about we all... Oh my god, he actually... This is not working, if you couldn't tell already. I need no sympathy from you. Go on, you little picnic alone, hornhead. Well, that didn't go well. Apollo, you have to take a more aggressive approach with people like her. I know, I just wasn't sure she was ready, though, and... Back to my testimony. Oh, no, yeah, back to your testimony, but first... Press harshly, baby. Slam those fists! Your benevolence, let's have some details. The more the better. Details, you say? Yes, for example, are you sure you didn't see anyone in the royal residence before 2:30? Where was Nayna? Well, is that a yes or a no? Oh man, I can make wind spells too.
Poor devil, I've been gazing upon the courtyard since about 2 yesterday. Yet I saw none other than my father. Oh, if only I had stopped him then.
Oh no. I think you've struck a nerve. Or rather, obliterated one. Maybe I pressed a little too hard. Well, shit. Should have tried pressing medium, I guess. Medium coke. Still, that last statement seemed a little off somehow. Should we add it? So you didn't see anyone except your father in the courtyard after 2 p.m., huh? Please add that to your testimony. Oh, yeah, sure. Here we go. We're getting closer here.
I've been gazing upon the courtyard since about 2, but father was the only one I saw.
Hold it!
Yep. Is the royal residence always so empty?
Well, there's only 4 of us, you know. Naturally, it is where the royal family lives, and we are few in number. Besides Nayna and the little birds who visit, I have no one else to talk to.
Is there anything more stereotypically princessy than talking to birds? So Nayna wasn't around at all yesterday? Here we go.
It seems he was quite busy. I was all alone the entire day. It's been like that a lot lately.
Rayfa doesn't go to school, so she probably doesn't have any close friends. She must lead a rather solitary life. I guess being a princess isn't all it's cracked up to be.
Rayfa, I shall buy you a new servant. What do you say we go get one of those androids? I don't want you to buy me an android or any of that. I want Nayna.
I'm beginning to see why Rayfa turned out like she did. Huh. Your benevolence, please tell us about what happened after you saw your father.
Well, it was around 2:30 when I saw him heading for the tomb.
Then about 2:45, I saw Barbed Head and company enter the courtyard.
Hold it!
So then you saw us. I love it when we talk about ourselves. 2:45, yes, I believe that's around when we arrived. Mr. Wright, Athena, Dirk, and I were running toward the tomb.
Yes, I was taken aback, as we don't normally see commoners in the palace courtyard. Even more shocking was that Dirk, a wanted man, was with you.
Yeah, I suppose so.
I thought the villainous leader of the Divine Dragons was here with his minions. Because it was, you know, time for a revolution.
I think you've been watching too much of that TV show.
I've already banned its broadcasts for containing content unsuitable for our kingdom. Besides, the actress playing Rayfa looked nothing like her. I can't have my subjects feeling so disappointed when they see the real Rayfa.
That's horrible! You were oh, man! Oh! Fuck off, dude! Oh, god damn it! Jeez. Oh my gosh, dude, that's horrible. For her sake, I hope it's in her DNA.
I suppose you could always hope for a miracle.
God, dude.
I'll show you. I shall double my milk intake and grow big and strong.
Well, when you double your milk output instead of your milk intake, that's when you've made it. There, your benevolence. I think you were fine just the way you are. And I don't think you're sexy like in that other case because I didn't know your age back then. You're not that sexy anyway. At least not as long as Emma's around. Where is she anyway? Now may I ask that you continue with your testimony?
I wish I could grow up faster.
No, you don't. Enjoy it while it lasts, man.
I saw no one go in or out of the tomb after my father entered at about 2:30.
Hold it!
Alright then. Is it possible you missed seeing someone pass through?
No, my veranda has a commanding view of the entire grounds, and I saw no one else.
But that doesn't seem right somehow.
Do not underestimate my daughter. She may be lacking elsewhere, but her eyes are the finest.
Lacking elsewhere? This is just like, they're full. Oh my god, man. Talk about a mother I'd never wish on my worst enemy. She needs Nayna now more than ever. Rayfa didn't see anybody in the royal residence area after 2 p.m. That's a really long time to just look at a courtyard. She's probably lost in thought, or she was waiting for somebody. She's at the age where I'm sure she's got a lot on her mind. On the day of the murder, I was gazing up in the courtyard from my second floor veranda. Okay, so we have stuff here. More than likely what we need to press, or what we need to present on, is one of the statements that got added, so... Okay, where's... Because I remember something about 210, but who said that, and who did they see? Oh, she would have seen Albie, wouldn't she? Dude! That's gotta be it, wait. When was Albie there? That looked to be Nayna's hat, yeah. I mean, that has to be it, right? Albie.
Objection!
Gotcha. Your benevolence? You're covering for someone, aren't you? Huh? He's only 9, and I'm 14. We're probably gonna get married someday. I know he built C-3PO, and anyway. I don't know what you're talking about. Sorry, Rayfa, but you're not gonna like this. Well, the thing is, I have a statement here that you might find interesting. It's from a witness who claims that around 2 p.m. his dog got loose and ran into the palace courtyard. That's when the little fellow stole this hat from someone. That's Nayna's! I mean, nothing, never mind! Oh... You fool of a daughter! Seems the princess made a blunder. Yeah, some covers blown here. So let me get this straight. This is Nayna's hat, which means she had to have been in the royal residence at around 2. If so, then you had to have seen Nayna sometime after 2 yesterday. Uh-oh. She doesn't want me to find out because her mom probably told her not to say anything. Please, your benevolence, tell us what you really saw. Oh. It is as you say, Hornhead. I saw Nayna. And I saw that dingbat dog steal her hat from her in front of my father's residence. I knew it. Why did you say so in the first place? Because, my mother told me not to. There you go. Yep. Would you care to explain, your eminence? I requested you withhold said information, for it is of no relevance to this case!
Objection!
It is now. You don't get to decide.
Insolence!
Oh, jeez. If you disagree, then prove that it is relevant to the case at hand. Oh man, are we going here? Are we seriously going here? Your benevolence, please tell us everything you witnessed when you saw Nayna. Alright. Don't be scared. She can't do anything to you over here. When I saw that dingbat dog attack Nayna, I ran to help. I raced from my second floor veranda down into the courtyard. Wait. That means that while you were coming down, you took your eyes off the courtyard. Huh. Yes, but only for a moment. It was enough time. This crucial testimony. If you took your eyes off the courtyard, it means that somebody else could have entered the tomb without you ever knowing. Your benevolence, are you sure no one else was there? Oh, yeah, I think maybe. She's hiding something again. Well, that's why her mom didn't want her talking about this in the first place. Because she knew I was going to press it and figure out what the rest of it. What about Nayna? Were you able to help her? When I got down to the courtyard, Nayna was gone. Yeah. And I never saw her again after that. Any idea what happened? That dingbat dog must have gobbled her up. Oh, I seriously doubt that. He gobbled something else up, though. But how could Nayna simply disappear while Rayfa wasn't looking? Rayfa must know something. The only question is what? Why Shadow was in the courtyard, where Nayna disappeared to, why Nayna disappeared. Would she know where Nayna disappeared to? I mean, if her mom's telling her to lie about it, it could be... Why Nayna disappeared seems intriguing, but I think it's too soon. Why Shadow's in the courtyard? We know why Shadow's in the courtyard. I'm gonna say where she disappeared to. Do you have any idea where Nayna disappeared to? What do you mean? She didn't just up and vanish into thin air, I'll tell you that. Well, during the time you took your eyes off the courtyard, someone could have headed into the tomb, like Nayna herself. And it just so happens that Nayna disappeared right at that moment. Wait, you think Nayna had something to do with the murder? I don't think we can rule it out. That's crazy, though. Sounds like something that had kept Nayna occupied since the early morning. Plus, she was seen right before the murder and then seemed to vanish into thin air. You're right. And since she's Rayfa's attendant, she could come and go as she pleased within the palace grounds. Could Rayfa's attendant really be the killer? But that would mean...
Objection!
Oh no. Don't... I can't even look at what she's about to say here.
Do not heed their lies. Oops. Lawyers are a foul breed, quick to claim that a third party is to blame for a crime. But I won't have it. I'm not an asshole. Nayna did not enter the tomb, that much is certain.
How can you be so sure?
When Nayna's hat was stolen, that crazed cur spilled an urn full of water upon my husband's doorstep. Is that not right, Rayfa?
Yeah, I remember the urn.
While that dingbat dog was tugging on Nayna's hat, it tipped over the urn. The bottoms of her shoes would have been soaked with water. And if she had truly headed into the tomb with wet shoes, she would have left shoe prints along the way. But the only shoe prints to be found belonged to my husband, Inga.
Huh. Well... Then... I mean, well, shoot.
That's right, Nayna never did go to the tomb that day. Instead, she entered my husband's private quarters, and did God knows what with him in there.
How do you know?
It's quite simple. Shoe prints were discovered in Inga's private quarters. Shoe prints that belonged to Nayna.
That's right, Edgeworth and I did see some shoe prints in there. Yeah, that was weird. So, but that's kind of confusing. So she went in and he went out?
Now do you understand? Nayna could not possibly have gone into the tomb. And that supposed third person at the crime scene is but a figment of your imagination.
Arg. Another glorious deduction, all hail the genius that is remnant's queen Garan. Bow down before a glory witness law.
Sword.
Can those guys fanboy any harder? I say let them fanboy on. But is it really true? Did Nayna not go into the tomb? Excuse me, but I look really mighty right now. Mr. Wright? Your benevolence, what time was it when that dog attacked Nayna?
I believe it was about 2:15.
I see. Apollo, if Nayna entered Inga's private quarters around 2:15, and Inga came racing out at around 2:30, pale-faced and screaming, then he's saying that Nayna's the reason he screamed, which I thought from the beginning. Yes, that might explain his scream. Wow, Why would he scream? Maybe he screamed because, like, she's been channeling a spirit all this time. I mean, I remember postulating or asking before, like, what if there's a time limit on channeling spirits? But, like, Maya channeled Dahlia for days in Bridge to the Turnabout, did she not? Will the defense please share their theory regarding Justice Minister Inga's scream? Certainly, Your Majesty. Minister Inga screamed because he saw a ghost. He was attacked by Nayna? No, well, he had a bad dream. Can't imagine why Nayna would attack him. Unless she had just found something out. I'm gonna go for it. Maybe he saw a ghost. Maybe even a bunch of ghosts. Like from all the people he sentenced to death. Uh-oh. I think I screwed up here. I mean, ghosts, it's a little bit different than channeling. Well, at least we get to see some flavor text here. If you're not careful, your benevolence, they might curse you too. Wow. Apollo, don't you think you've teased her enough? Come on, let's think this one over again. You're right. Okay. Alright then, he was attacked. I guess she attacked him then. Maybe he was attacked by Nayna, maybe not. This would make the Justice Minister's private quarters the real scene of the crime. Wait. No, there was no blood in there, though.
Objection!
Does your idiocy know no bounds? The Minister's body was found in a tomb! Or are you suggesting that the body was moved? Do I think the Minister was moved from his private quarters? I think the possibility... I mean, well, shoot. Can I look at the autopsy? Do we have an autopsy report? Stabbed from behind, cause of death is blood loss. So no, it's not possible then. I say there's no way the body was moved. After all, there was an awful lot of blood in the tomb. I understand if the scream was in reaction to Nayna's attack. But Inga died in the tomb. We need to explain how those two realities could coincide. How are we supposed to do that? With evidence, probably. Oh, maybe. Maybe where he was stabbed and where he died were two completely different locations. That's kind of what I was thinking. What do you mean? It's just, let's look at this as simply as possible. If the Minister's body wasn't moved, he might have been stabbed by Nayna in his private quarters, but then died in the tomb. Is this another case of, like, maybe he ran over there with a knife still in him? I see. On the one hand, that seems plausible, but on the other, it seems decidedly implausible. Prosecutor Sudmati, what is that fool babbling on about now? Is this a riddle from one of those fortune cookies Americans seem so fond of? Perhaps, but I believe he himself does not know what he means to say. In all likelihood, it was a poor attempt to confuse us. We should simply ignore him.
Objection!
I don't think so. I wasn't finished yet, so hold off on the analysis, would ya? The autopsy report never stated that the Minister's death was instantaneous. So he could have conceivably moved from one place to another after being stabbed. Oh my, are you suggesting he ran all the way to the tomb with a knife sticking out of his back? Well, that's the gist of it. I'm starting to feel like... I mean, it's like, the way the game is progressing, it feels like I'm right. But... in short, Minister Inga saw Nayna with a knife, let out a scream, and when he turned his back to her to flee... Right, and that's when he was stabbed from behind. Maybe she even threw it at him. Well, Your Majesty, does my theory hold water?
Such
How dare you bore me like this? You are a humorless moron, spewing an endless stream of unamusing drivel.
Well, I'm trying to be funny, Your Eminence.
Prosecutor, enlighten this ignorant clown in lawyer's clothing.
Your Eminence.
Ha!
Oh.
Nayna?
No. You dull, slow-witted, putrid-minded lawyer. Perhaps you would be too stupid to notice. You had been stabbed in the back. But a normal person would have noticed due to the excruciating pain. Now hold on. Allow me to teach you the meaning of pain. Oh, things up. Oh, God. Nayna has a point. Normally most people would notice a dagger in their back. But he had the back pain, though. Is it possible that the medicine made him so numb that he wouldn't have noticed it? Yeah. There must be something that explains this. There's a reason Inga didn't feel any pain, and the defense will submit evidence proving just that. I was wondering how that was going to fit into it, though. Oh, it makes total sense now. Why didn't Justice Mr. Inga notice that he had been stabbed? Because he's crazy, that's why. Here. So, first off, this is a new recording session that I'm presenting this evidence on. You don't know how hard it was for me to stop last time, but I had to. So, we're presenting the medicine. Take that. Oh, those are my father's painkiller shots. Oh, why are you going to bring this up now? First of all, he's dead. Now you're going to talk about how he was in pain when he was alive? It's no good. The defense will explain the significance of Rayfa's father's pain. Mr. Inga suffered from terrible back pain, need I remind you, so he often injected himself with these. We're told that one shot in the back would make all his pain go away. With this, it's easy to explain what happened. Don't tell me you didn't know about these, Your Eminence.
You can't mean. You're not going to get the better side of me. Not this soon in the trial.
Minister Inga was stabbed in his back, close to where he usually injected the painkiller. So he had no feeling, therefore, he didn't know there was a knife there. It's entirely possible he hadn't noticed he'd been stabbed. Bring on the music. I don't even know if that was synced because I can barely hear it, even though I have headphones on, just one ear. Because if I put them on both ears, I sound weird to myself. Then, are you suggesting Justice Minister Inga really ran off with a knife protruding from his back? I kind of feel like Rayfa would have noticed that, but maybe, I guess if he was far enough away, you wouldn't. I am, Your Majesty.
So then when I saw my father, he had a knife sticking out of him? No way. I mean, with that cape of his, I couldn't see his back very well.
Oh. Yep, the knife was there. It was just plunged, I say, in so deep, you didn't notice it under the cape. Therefore, when you saw your father, he was already dead. You dead man walking. Murdered by Nayna in his private court. By Nayna, though! That's not cool. Even the judge is shaking his head like, what the hell? Holy Mother of Kurine, are we dealing with the living dead here? Night of the Living Dead. Well, technically, he wasn't dead yet. I know it's hard to believe, but this is a plausible sequence of events. And once Minister Inga arrived at the tomb, he could have removed the knife and dropped dead from blood loss, but does that explain how Dirk's fingerprints were on it? No, it does not.
Nayna killed my father. There must be some mistake.
I would think so, too. The defense would like to call Nayna to the stand, wherever she is.
Objection! You can't call her to the stand because I had her put away. You seek to drag an innocent old woman to the stand with no proof whatsoever.
I'm not talking about proof here, I'm talking about extenuating circumstances or something.
Huh. I knew you couldn't stand up to my book. So how will you ever stand up to my boobs if you can't stand up to my book? Book comes second alphabetically. Anyway, what a tangled web of expedient lies you weave. I know. Isn't it, though? I can no longer tell fact from fiction. Who or what shall I believe in now? I'm sorry, Rayfa. All I've done is confuse you. But maybe by the time you're 18, you'll be able to drive a car and you can just get far, far away from here. But I have a sneaking suspicion Nayna's involved in this case one way or another. Just when I thought we'd blown this case wide open. Well, there's no turning back now. You fool of a lawyer. I know why you're so desperate to prove the accused innocent. You do? Yes, because he faces public execution if proven guilty. As shall you under the stipulations of the DCA. I know. Why do you think I'm fighting so hard? From the moment you accepted this case, you have had no choice but to fight for your lives. Nah, it's Pazuzu. No, the simple fact is, I've always believed that Dirk is innocent. But still you cling to your pretense. Very well, I shall offer you a bargain. A what? Is this where we're going to cliffhang? Because I had like 40 minutes worth and I just started this recording session, so it's going to be pretty soon here. Probably right there just now. Previously, no, okay, alright. If you would admit that the accused is guilty, right here, right now, I shall overlook your crime of abetting him, and you will not be subject to execution. Is this some sort of joke? I mean, logically, it's kind of a good deal if he's dead anyway. At least you get yourself off. Far from it. As queen, I have the power to grant pardons, even to criminals like you. Well, it wouldn't be the first time you've done that, then, would it? And with a wave of my hand, I can even reduce the severity of a sentence. Perhaps even for Dirk, should you be willing to cooperate. Really? But you insist that he did it. What are you... She wasn't kidding when she said that she's the law here. But to flaunt that power in our faces like that? That's just wrong. Oh, forget all that has transpired in our kingdom, and return to your own country in peace. Well, will you abandon your defense of the accused and accept my generous offer? If I don't take this deal, we'll be executed along with Dirk if he's found guilty. What should I do? I should abandon the defense. Alright. If there's a game over or some kind of secret ending here, I want to see it.